Hi, and welcome to ISO 9001 in 90 minutes. In this series, we're going to be focusing on leadership, how leadership demonstrates commitment to the quality management system, how leadership focuses the team in on the customer, how leadership develops, promotes, communicates the quality policy, and how leadership designates roles and responsibilities within the quality management system. Hi, and welcome to ISO 9001 in 90 minutes. In this series, we're going to be looking at Clause 5, entitled Leadership. So Clause 5.1, Leadership Commitment. Here's where the leadership of the business needs to demonstrate and take accountability and responsibility for the performance of the quality management system. They do this by setting the direction of the organization, objectives, and then also periodically reviewing performance. Leadership also needs to make sure that the quality management system is integrated into the business processes. They need to communicate the importance of quality management. Leadership commitment is also demonstrated by providing suitable resources, engaging with those resources, directing and supporting them as required. Leadership also needs to promote risk-based thinking and the process-based approach. So risk-based thinking is an understanding of how risks and opportunities apply to your activities, products, services, substances, or your product and service range. Also, the process-based approach is where leadership needs to focus on ensuring that there is a seamless integration of all the various different business processes to reduce time and waste. Leadership also demonstrates commitment by promoting continual improvement, where issues are identified, root or contributing factors are identified and addressed, ensuring that your products and services improve over time. Now, Clause 5.1.2 is all about customer focus. Now, here the leadership needs to ensure that the business and its processes are focused on the customer. How do we do that? Well, your product or service requirements and or the requirements of the customer may be based on legal or other requirements, also referred to as statutory and regulatory requirements. You need to make sure that your products or services meet those legal or other requirements during manufacturing, during installation, and during use by the client to focus on the customer. Also identifying what those specific legal or other requirements are, which are part of your product and service range, helps you to focus on the customer. Also ensuring that risks with your products and services are appropriately managed during the manufacturing and or installation and use of those products or services, and that opportunities around the products and services are leveraged to improve customer satisfaction. Leadership needs to drive the fact that every effort is made to focus on how the customer needs, perceptions, and customer experience can be improved through your entire life cycle of engaging with the customer. We also need to note that within a business, you have got internal customers as well. As departments and processes and people are dependent on each other to ensure that you are able to focus on the customer and deliver on the customer's needs and expectations. Next, we have Clause 5.2, the quality policy. And here's where top management makes some commitments. In the quality policy, you need to make a commitment to satisfy applicable requirements. Now, again, some of those requirements could be customer requirements, they could be your own internal business requirements, they could be statutory and regulatory requirements, to name but a few. Again, top management needs to commit to the continual improvement of the quality management system. The policy must be relevant and appropriate to the organization, align with the organization's strategic direction, creates a framework for setting quality objectives, it must be documented, communicated, and available. Next, Clause 5.3, organizational roles and responsibilities. Here's where leadership again assigns responsibility to ensure that the quality management system conforms to the ISO 9001 standard, and also designate people to report on the quality management system performance to ensure that it is delivering on its intended outcome. So some of the tools that can be used for the designation of roles, responsibilities, and authorities are organograms, job descriptions. Also, we know that roles and responsibilities are designated in letters of appointment and in the policies, procedures, and work instructions within your system. So if we were going to deliver on the Clause 5 requirements, I would develop a process for Clause 5.1. I would entitle it the leadership process. Some of the input documents to the development of that process would be your quality management system scope, because the scope of the quality management system, whether it be for a branch or for an entire national organization, would have a direct impact on who is seen as leadership. My discovery process identifies all of our activities, products, services, substances, and our business organogram helps us to identify the roles and responsibilities. Within the process, I would write columns for leadership commitment, where I describe how we meet all the requirements of Clause 5.1. We would also write the various different requirements of what should be in the quality policy, how it will be appropriate, how it will be documented, how it will be available, and how it will be communicated. I'd also write a process within there for how we designate roles, responsibilities, accountabilities, and authorities. Some of the outputs to those particular processes would be the fact that we could demonstrate that we've provided resources. We then perform management review to ensure that leadership is demonstrating commitment. An output would be a quality policy that meets the requirements, which is then communicated and available. And some of the outputs to roles and responsibilities would be your quality appointments, job descriptions, and also roles, responsibilities as designated in your policies, procedures, and work instructions. So there you have it, ladies and gents. That's an overview of Clause 5, and this was ISO 9001 in 19 minutes.